Hello, welcome back to CinemaBurger, where I bring you movie reviews from a different perspective. Movies have been based off of ridiculous premises for years. As of the last few years, we have Blumhouse to thank for movies based on things like Ouija boards, Truth or Dare, Slender Man. But now it is BET that brings us Karen. The term based on a privileged white lady. Yes, we have a movie called Karen about a white lady named Karen who harasses a black family who has just moved into her neighborhood. We have Taryn Manning from Orange is the New Black playing Karen, and Corey Hardrict and Jasmine Burke playing Malik and Imani, the black couple who has just moved into the neighborhood. Now, the movie starts out where the couple moves in and Karen is looking through the window and she's like, uh-oh, black people, basically. Now, she's also head of the homeowners association, and she already has a problem with them. Now, the acting of this movie is Lifetime original level of acting, so not the best, but not the worst either. But it's not winning any Emmys or Oscars, if you know what I mean. So, in the homeowners association, there is an Asian woman and stuff, and she's usually the voice of reason when Karen wants to kick them out of the town or psych them on things. Now, Karen gets pissed off to the couple at one point because they didn't bring their garbage can back to their house after garbage is picked up. And also she got pissed off because they didn't remember what night garbage was. Now, I know you hate black people, I guess, but you just move into a town, you don't know, you may not remember when garbage day is immediately, cut them some slack on that sense. Now, this couple is also trying to have a child, and Karen's son sees them in the window because they didn't close their blinds or whatever, and Karen walks by and is like, Johnny, what are you doing, or whatever, and she tells the son to get out, and then Karen starts kind of staring too, and she looks at first disgusted, but then she makes a horny moan sound. I'm like, are you hate them or are you turned on? I don't know. So that was a weird scene. Now, the reason Karen, I guess, hates black people in this situation is because she grew up during like the crack epidemic in the 80s or something. Now, she has a brother who's a cop who's also racist. Oh, and also her husband was a cop who got killed, I think. I don't know about a black person, but it doesn't matter. Now, on Twitter, I think, Taryn Manning, the actress, was saying, oh, I feel like I felt like I had to play this character. But it comes off as, don't worry, white people, I'll take one for the team and play this character. I'm like, easy there. It's a BET original, not an Oscar-nominated movie. But they keep making jokes throughout the movie. It's like, oh, it's a Karen as an adjective named Karen, and it's like, yeah, we get it. That's the premise. But the characters keep referring to it at least 3 times throughout the movie. Now things get more heated throughout the movie. They have a housewarming party, and Karen also watches. She has cameras in her house, and she's watching the couple next door. Actually, the couple gets their own cameras because they don't trust Karen, and but she sits there watching the cameras, watching this couple eating popcorn and drinking wine. I'm like, do you hate them or are you getting enjoyment out of this? I don't know. And at one point, Karen asks Malik to help put antifreeze in her car, and he does because he's trying to be nice. And she's like, it's like she's coming on to him also. It's weird. So she touches his arm. He kind of spills the antifreeze on his shirt. She offers to go wash it, but he just goes in to wash his hands. And when she tells him where the bathroom is, he goes upstairs, and while he's on the way to the bathroom, he sees the room with all the cameras in it, and he freaks out. So he goes to the bathroom and washes his hands, and on their soap dispenser, there's a Confederate flag, and there's pictures of Confederate generals on your wall, on their wall. So it's like, all right, we get it. You're like the South, but like, who has a Confederate soap dispenser? I'm like, there's a lot more um like insulting things to have, I guess, like more passionate paraphernalia for the Confederacy than a soap dispenser. And it looks like a regular soap dispenser. They just like glued a piece of wood with the Confederate flag onto. I'm assuming this movie didn't have a big budget either. But here's the thing, like, I didn't have high expectations for this movie because it would look like a TV original. But it's like it's almost a couple of steps above like a college film in terms of acting, or like the Lifetime original style of acting. But by the end, because there's like shootouts and stuff, and I didn't hate it by the end, but I'm like, this is pretty still kind of cringy. Now near the end, they the couple get in arguments because about money and stuff, and it's like, and then she's like, maybe we shouldn't have a child right now. I'm like, why are you trying to have this sex and have a child earlier in the movie if you weren't financially stable? Because that's her reason for not wanting one now. And also, Imani immediately accuses Malik of like possibly like cheating with Karen. I'm like, I guess you don't trust your husband. But Malik gets pulled over by the cops and profiled, and they bring in, and then Karen also like harasses some young teenagers who are black, and they get an attorney involved, and they get real life civil rights attorney Benjamin Krupp plays himself in this movie. But at the end, after Imani and Malik get their justice, they're like, this is just one example of how African Americans are treated in this country every day. And then everyone looks at the camera, and it's like, oh, come on, like, at least keep it the movie. And at the end, of course, like, well, Karen got kicked out of the homeowner association. Imani is in it, and she's trying to like set up more diverse practices for the homeowners association, and and they finally get pregnant, but it's like the most fake looking pregnancy belly I've ever seen. And also they look at the camera again, but like the shootout, there's a shootout with cops. There's like a rookie cop who like feels bad that they shouldn't be doing this stuff, and Karen's brother is a cop who's part of the like brotherhood, and it's like so intense but not at the same time, like his acting. But it aired on BET, this movie Karen, and it's also available to rent. um, I don't know if I would recommend. I don't know if I'd recommend this because there's better movies about pro-activism and civil rights, but this is not one of them. I'd give this uh, 1.5 to maybe 1.5 out of 5 burgers. There is some campy entertainment to this, but there's better ways to promote Black Lives Matter movements and civil rights and stopping crime against African Americans. But yeah, it's pretty cringy. All right, I'm Scott Berger, and I'll see you next time.